I mean, the debt's, I think, over 30 trillion at this point.
Yeah, he said he could make 50 trillion if he sold 10 million new.
I don't think there's that many people who have
golden
$5 million,
cards.
but
Yeah, well, how many people do have that in the world? Maybe we'd get the worst people of the world to come over here and. I think the assumption is if you have $5 million, you have a lot to contribute. Come on over here, start a business, get something cracking.
Yeah. I mean, you'd get like a green card, not citizenship. So you actually, if you commit a crime while on a green card, you lose your green card.
Is that what it is with this golden ticket? Is that a green card or is it citizenship?
Green card. Yeah.
Just a green card.
Yeah. So you have to
be a good person.
Not commit any crime for 5 years in order to become a citizen. Once you commit a citizen, you can then commit crime and not be deported. So.
Oh, there's just so many wild things that he's proposing. Just the whole Gulf of America thing was hilarious.
I kind of agree. I think that's great.
I think it's great. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I mean, if you're off the coast of Houston, you're not in Mexico, so why call it Gulf of Mexico?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I guess we were just being nice before. Like, what was
I don't know how it got called the Gulf of Mexico.
it's just very funny. And then what news organization was it? AP.
Yeah, AP's. There's this like massive standoff between AP and like the White House, you know, and the White House press office, I guess, because they're like, well, if you don't call it Gulf of America, you can't come to the White House press room. So then the AP's like sued the White House to say like, no, you have to let us come to the White House press room, and then they lost their lawsuit because like there's not like you don't have a right to show up at the press room.
Well, here's a consideration: if you're guilty of massive amounts of misinformation and disinformation as a part of a propaganda campaign, which a lot of them have been.
That's what AP is.
Well, a lot of them are guilty of it. A lot of the people that are in that White House press conference, a lot of the organizations they work for, distributed absolute lies.
Total lies.
How many of them during the whole Russiagate thing?
Yes.
How many? I mean, just that alone.
A ton of people think that the Russia thing was real.
Yeah.
Still. And it was. I mean, the whole Steele dossier, where it was like completely concocted, like fabricated
funded
from nothing.
by the Clinton campaign.
Correct. Funded. Yeah. The Clinton campaign funded a fake conspiracy theory, a fake Russia collusion hoax regarding Trump. That was completely false.
And they reiterated it on television for 3 fucking years.
Yes.
Yeah.
They also repeated the fine people hoax.
Yeah.
That said that Trump called neo-Nazis fine people.
Right.
Which is demonstrably false. If you just listen to his speech, he absolutely makes it clear that he does not think neo-Nazis are fine people.
He literally said that. I'm not talking about neo-Nazis or white nationalists. They should be condemned totally.
Exactly. In that speech, and yet they repeated that lie. And I just completely lost respect for Obama when he repeated that lie a few days before the election, knowing it's false.
Well, this just shows how desperate they were to keep Trump out, which is wild.
They would do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they just felt like this is a tool that we have, and let's use it.
Yeah.
Let's just say whatever the fuck we have, say anything.
Yeah, now they're using the Nazi thing on me, obviously. Yeah. But it is a little troubling because, I mean, obviously, if people are fed nonstop propaganda, it is like mass hypnosis.
Right.
You're going to reach some number of people who are, homicidal, and convince them that, well, if you kill this guy who's supposed to be like this a terrible human, then that's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, this is Luigi shooting the United Healthcare guy. It's just...
Still don't understand that one, frankly. But I mean, you shouldn't, like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. He didn't even have a contract with them. It wasn't even like that was his provider and they fucked him over.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know what.
Maybe we'll find out in the trial. I mean, but still, kind of crazy.
It is crazy.
But there are people like that out there. And as to the point that we spoke about earlier, it's only Fox News that's talking about the positive things that Doge has found. Right. It's only. Every other media organization is on this constant propaganda tour where they're only talking about the negative aspects that turn out to not even be true.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Scott Jennings on CNN is good.
Yeah.
He's like,
oh my God, he's great.
he's great.
It's
like
just funny watching him speak logically to these people, and they freak out.
Yes, it's remarkable.
It is. And he's so calm when he does it.
Yeah,
he's so good, and it's crazy that they keep letting him do it because it's like he's just dunking on these people over and over and over again, and they never score. It's kind of funny.
Totally.
I mean, kudos to them for having a legitimate conservative voice who's a reasonable person on these panels now. But even then, he's outmanned. It's like one of him, and there's a bunch of screechy, woke people. And it's wild. I mean, they're like, I think we should still stay mostly woke. Like, that's essentially what they're doing. They're like, our business was being hurt when we were all woke, but let's stay mostly woke.
Yeah,
that way
they just backed it off a notch.
Just a notch. A notch. But the problem is when you back it off a notch and you let someone like Scott Jennings in, you're fucking up your whole business because all the viral clips are all him saying logical, reasonable things with a calm tone and people screeching about diversity and equity and and horseshit.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like being logical and reasonable, and they're just lobbing a bunch of non sequiturs that don't mean anything. And the
real trap in this country is a two-party system. That's the real trap because people do believe it. They do believe they're on the right side, and they do believe the other side's the wrong side. If there was 5, 6 legitimate parties with varying positions on things and much more centrist parties that were legitimate, that people knew that if they voted for, these people could get in and enact legitimate change, we would be a lot better off. But boy, they put a lockdown on that shit right after Ross Perot came along. Ross Perot fucked everything up in that election.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton got in.
Yeah.
And they were like, that's it. From now on, no one's debating unless you're either the head of that party or that's it.
Yeah.
You got to be like locked into the system. We're not letting any wackadoos in there.